white background, grey background. I have two backgrounds to choose
Okay, good day, everyone. Welcome. All right, good day, everyone. Welcome to today's virtual open day with OnCampus CEG. I'm Emmanuel from Study Now, and I also want to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished representative from OnCampus CEG. Thank you for joining, Kafi.
Thank you
And
very much,
without
Emmanuel.
taking much of our time, Kafi, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role at OnCampus CEG?
Thank you, Emmanuel. Good afternoon, everyone. Apologies for joining a little bit late. My name is Kafayat Akin-Sesan, also known as Kafi in the industry. I am the regional manager for West Africa. I work at On Campus. On campus, what do I do with them? Okay, so let's start with what exactly On Campus is all about. We are a pathway provider. We provide those important educational services to international students across 4 countries, where we partner with more than 40 universities, basically helping and supporting students in achieving their international study dreams. And I, as a person, I work closely with approved recruitment partners like Study Now, which also provide the support, basically handholding all students through the entire process from applying to on campus, helping you to get the right choice of institutions. Because, like I said, we have like 40 partner schools. So, helping to profile you, helping to ensure they find the right fit of institution and country for individual students, and of course, taking you through the journey from application to payment to visa processing, and of course, enrollment and progressing to your institution of choice.
All right,
So
thank you
that's
very much. Thank you very much, Kafi. So I know for students joining and hearing about on-campus CEG for the first time today, they will be eager to actually know the kind of program they can apply for and what are the universities you have under on-campus CEG. So you have the floor now. If you have any presentations, and kindly let the students that are joining also know the universities and the kind of program they can actually apply for.
Thank you so much. So we have several programs available, but I would like to take you through, not to bore you, but just take you through a little short presentation that would introduce you quickly into the entire on-campus portfolio. And from there, I think when you know a little bit about the products, then we can take it from there. So I'm trying to share my screen. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Emmanuel?
Not yet. It's not coming up.
Okay, let me know when it comes up at your
Yeah,
end.
I can see now.
Perfect. All right. So, welcome to On Campus. So, the first question is the name On Campus. What is On Campus? Not a university, right? Yes, we are not a university, but we are a pathway provider. And when you hear the term pathway, what comes to your mind? Like a walkway, like a bridge, meaning taking from a destination to another, from a current position to where you want to go or where you want to be. So basically, for pathway providers, we basically provide support services to students who do not have what it takes to actually go into direct universities for studies for different reasons. It doesn't have to be academic. It could be age or other reasons that are quite synonymous with national students. So that's where the pathway program come in. So we have it at different level of study. So I'm going to go straight into the slideshow. So please indulge me. So the first question is, why study at on-campus? Why not go regular into the university? Why do you need the on-campus pathway program? The first is, like I mentioned before, we give you guaranteed progression into top universities in at least 4 countries currently. But of course, our programs, as you will find out later, are quite flexible. So you're not just limited to just 4 countries. You can even go to other countries. But for now, let's focus on the four where we have strong roots. We have been in this industry for quite a while. We're actually the very first foundation party provider in the UK way back in 1957, I believe. So, yes, we're looking forward to celebrating that anniversary next year. It's been a long time coming. But yes, despite all of that history we also have our success rates, which is why students and referrals and families keep coming back to us. 100% of our students receive university offers because remember, we are a path. You have universities you're looking at going. Sometimes you're very certain from the beginning, sometimes you're unsure. That is why the on campus program might be just the perfect one for you. 93% of our students actually progress to their first choice institution. Remember, I told you that on campus, we give you options, we open you up to variety of institutions in different countries of studies. More than 90% of our students actually go to their first choice universities. And we have more than 95% student satisfaction rate. This is as at the last intake. Very good numbers, you would say, but I can assure you, with over 70 years of experience, we've made mistakes, we've learned from our mistakes, and we've known what international students need to excel from the very first weeks of you actually settling in those countries and being able to progress to your chosen career path, to your chosen institution, and of course, all the locations where we are at. One thing is for sure, we are very student centered and our quality is commendable. So, these and lots more are some of the values that we provide at On Campus. Of course, you have the campus experience. Most of our programs are for 2 semesters, which means you have that edge over students who are going in for direct, especially for the undergrads, because you have actually immersed yourself in the university campus at least 1 year earlier than the others. So you get a bit of, that edge, you get familiar with the mode of instruction, with the mode of assessment, mode of learning. Outside the classroom, you get familiar with the community, with the city you're studying at, with the country, the dynamics of the country. You get to know, okay, where is local pharmacy? Where can I get the local food or local African stores? Things like that. And at on campus, every center, every student, you have what we call the student support officer. That's like your body, someone you can always relate to. There is no mundane inquiry or question. We operate open door policy. No matter how large our class size is, we always try to, reduce it into smaller, batches. So you have a one-on-one support, not only from your tutors, from student support officers, and also from the center head. And remember, the pathway is not the end. You're actually focusing on the end, which is the career, which is what you end to actually achieve after your master's program or your bachelor's program at the university. So we are very, very career focused, which is why we actually build you from our pathway program till you progress to your intended institution. So, where exactly can you study at if you come to on campus? We currently have 4 study destinations. Of course, we have centers all around UK, and then we have centers in Amsterdam, Netherlands. We are in France, right there in Paris, and we are also in Ireland, where we have our center in Maynooth. These are our 4 study destinations all around Europe. And here are the programs that we offer. Remember, we are not a university, so we don't offer direct masters. We do not offer PhD programs. But here are the programs that we offer: the undergraduate foundation program, which you can call the year zero. This is the 1 year program, usually 2 years and 2 semesters, which you actually enroll in before you start your bachelor's program. So when you join the foundation program with your O levels, which could be your WAEC, your NECO, your GCE, your IGCSE, as the case may be, with a minimum of at least 5 credits in, of course, relevant subjects, you can join our foundation programs. We have a whole lot of portfolio for foundation, from the business courses to the humanities to the the law, the psychology, sociology courses to the engineering courses. Think about all kinds of engineering. We have it from robotics to aeronautics to mechanical to the electrical to biomedical. It's available. Run yourself through to law, cybersecurity, computer science. Every single program you can think of is available for foundation entry. We even have the medical foundation program, both in the UK and in Ireland. When you're done with our 1 year foundation program, you can then progress to first year of your bachelor's degree, which could be a 3 year or 4 year program, depending on the institution chosen. Okay? And also for the undergrads offering, we have a second program, which we call the IY1, which basically means International Year One. International Year One here means first year one, or Nigerian parlance, they would say 100 level. That is the first year of your bachelor's degree. We also offer that. We have the IY1 for those students who currently have their AS, or they have A levels, or you have your national diploma, your ND. Yes, you can do that for IY1. Or maybe you are even in Nigerian university, you've done first year or second year, but you just want to pull out and transfer. Yes, we have IY1 programs available in the UK and at OnCampus Paris. Okay, so take note. The International Year One course portfolio is not as diverse as the foundation portfolio. It's a bit more limited, where we have courses in business, engineering, law, cybersecurity, fashion design, yes. Hospitality management, you have such IY1 courses available. Okay? So in case you have, yes, ND, you're currently in the Nigerian University first year or second year, you don't mind starting from first year again, yes, you can join the IY1. You have AS, A levels, you can join. And even if all you have is WAEC or NECO, basically O levels, but if your O level grades are quite good, meaning an average of C4, so which means you have combinations of A's and B's and maybe some C's. When you do the maths, it comes to an average of C4. We can actually give you International Year One straight up. That means you skip foundation year. So which means you're doing a 3 year program in total. So you're doing 4 with foundation. So yes, even the O-level graduates are not left out of the IY1 program. Okay? So those are the two programs for the undergrads. We have the foundation and we have the International Year One. Then for the pre-master students, I think this would concern mainly those who have HNDs and third class. And of course, the occasional students that have like second class lower, the two. You can join our pre-masters program. I think I would say pre-masters, if you want something closer to it, you would say a PGD Nigerian parlance. Yes, good, similar. Yes. So the pre-masters could be for 1 semester or 2 semesters, depending on the course and the intake you're opting for. And yes, variety of options available, like HNDs, like third class degree holders, and even second class lower. I know for some people it might be funny. I have a tutor, why would I come and do pre-masters? Well, if you're quite ambitious and you're looking at top ranked schools, like for instance in the UK, our partner schools like Loughborough, like Southampton, like Bath, these schools are pretty high up there. I'm talking about top 10 institutions in the UK. There are some courses you cannot get into with a tutor for direct masters. So yes, you still need to do a pre-masters to level you up a bit before you can start that. So yes, for our pre-masters, we also have diverse offerings and diverse progression course options. We have the foundation program and pre-masters available at the 4 locations: Amsterdam, France, Ireland, and the UK. International Year One entry is only available at On-Campus Paris in France, and of course, at some of our UK centers. So I wouldn't bore you a lot with how it works. I'm hoping we are going to bring it out during the Q&A session. Hopefully you have some questions for me. You can scribble them down now so that you don't forget your questions. But this is just a quick look for the undergrads or those who are interested in undergrads with us, what our pathway looks like. So when you look at the pathway, remember, is the program. And then the modules. The modules here means the courses you'll be taking when you're on the pathway program. So for those during the UFD, which is the foundation program, I mentioned we have a diverse offerings in terms of different pathways available from business to engineering to humanities, life sciences, and of course medicine. For IY1, you can see it's a little bit limiting. Like I said, we have it in the field of business, engineering, law, and computing. We also have fashion for IY1 entry at OnCampus Paris. Okay. From these programs, you have guaranteed progression to our partner universities upon successful completion of your pathway. So you have nothing to worry about. And at OnCampus, we have two models we use. One we call the one-to-one, where basically you're very sure, or maybe you want to study at OnCampus Sunderland. That means you want to stay at University of Sunderland. You don't want to go anywhere else. Or I want to study at Aston, or I want to study at Southampton. You come to the relevant center because you're very sure you want to end up for your master's or your bachelor's degree. That's one-to-one. Okay? And then for those who are still unsure, or they basically want more options open to them, they don't want to be tied down to just one option. Then we have what we call the one-to-many option, where you come to one of our centers. Like in the UK, we have two of such: OnCampus London in central London, and we have OnCampus UK North in Preston. You come there for your pathway year, but you can actually apply for progression to at least 5 schools in the UK for progression. And these 5 schools don't have to be within the on-campus network. They can be 5 other schools. So that gives you more flexibility in terms of progression options. So whatever you like, whether you're like, you just want somewhere straightforward from the beginning, we got you covered. If you want more flexibility, I'm very sure we have something for you. Okay? So here is a run through again of our International Year 1 program. So remember, if you've taken your WAEC and you're hoping that your results will be out in August, just check those grades. Once those grades come to an average of C4, meaning you have maybe 2 A's somewhere, you have 3 B's somewhere, you have some C's, you do the computation, it all comes to at least a C4, and you're interested in any of the courses on your screen, yes, you can skip foundation year and come straight into International Year 1. Entry requirements. The first thing for the undergrad is age. We want our students to be a little bit more matured. We have 2 major intakes every year, September and January. So we are taking applications for September. And we need you to be at least 16 years, 11 months by the course start date in September. So please check your age. If you are not going to be 16, 11 months by, let's say, the 21st of September, when most of our courses are starting, you might need to join in January. Okay? But that is why you have the study now team send across your passports or your date of birth. They check your age and they can advise you if September would be okay or if you have to wait a little bit longer until January. All right? This is just a run through again of our academic requirements for the foundation. Please remember, I mentioned we have the Medicine Foundation Program. The medicine academic requirement, of course, is higher than the regular foundation requirement for other courses. If you want to study medicine, you need to have minimum of 5 B's. 5 B's in relevant subjects. And this subject must include, is non-negotiable, biology, chemistry, and maths. You need B's in your biology, chemistry, and mathematics. Then give me 2 other subjects. Physics is not compulsory for medicine, but if you have it, it's fine. It can be one of the 5. Okay? So you need 5 B's to study the Medical Foundation Program, either at the UK Center or in Ireland. We have a variety of courses. Some come with integrated CAS in the UK, some do not. That will determine if you are required to take an additional English test apart from your O-level English. Okay? So when it comes to the course and the country, we can advise you on if your current English level is sufficient or if you're required to take additional tests. Yes, For the pre-master students, yes, for those who already have their first degrees, HNDs and all whatnot, these are the courses, the subject you'll be taking within the six, which is the 1 semester, or the 1 year, which is the 2 semesters program with us. So while you're on the 2 semesters, these are the courses you're taking. Research and digital literacy, working in teams, very important. A lot of students tend to like overlook that, but it's very important. And of course, research dissertation, research methods. These are some of the modules you'll be taking while you're studying with us on campus. So you'll see our programs are very academic. You're not just coming for English classes, you're coming for full academic because they're credit bearing. And you're required to have some progression cutoff pass marks for you to progress to your intended institution. So the pass mark will be determined by the course you want to progress onto. If you're progressing, of course, so let's say MSc, accounting or finance, or hospitality management, your pass mark required score will differ from someone who is progressing to pharmacology or public health. Okay? For you joining our pre-masters, no matter the country, a form of English test will be required. Right now, the only exception is on campus Paris, where your letter of English proficiency from your tertiary institution can be used as a waiver. But for countries like Ireland, for our UK centers, and also Amsterdam, yes, you will be required to take a form of English test. We have a long list of the ones that we accept, from the UKVI IELTS to Pearson to Language Set to Duolingo for Ireland. The list goes on and on. Okay, so don't fret. There's always something for everyone. For the entry requirements, yes, we say our minimum age is 21, but if the student is slightly younger, we can always make exceptions. One other key thing to note about our pre-masters is we have what we call the study gap limit. And our current study gap limit is 7 years. So if your study gap limit is just slightly over 7 years and your work experience is related to the course you want to study, we can make exceptions. But if not, I'm afraid we will have to stick with the study gap limit of 7 years. Okay? All right. So here quickly are the intakes we have. Like I said, we have two major intakes every year, January and September, but we also have the mid-year intake for the likes of the pre-masters program, as you can see on the screen. So yes, we're currently still taking applications for our on-campus UK centers and the on-campus Paris center. The application deadlines for Amsterdam and Ireland for September has passed, but you can apply to these centers for January 2027 start. Okay, so we spoke about the 4 locations. This map right here shows you our partner schools at these various locations. Looking at the top right-hand part of my screen, you can see in the UK, we have quite a number. These are just some, not all. So depending on what exactly your criteria is, if you're looking at affordability, you're looking at ranking, you're looking at cost availability or a location, we have something for you. We currently have 2 centers in London, as you can see, on campus London and LSBU, and we have several centers sprinkled across the UK, from the northern part to the south and the Midlands. And we also have those who are still not on this map, the likes of Bath, the likes of Sheffield, the likes of Westminster. The list goes on and on. And down here, in this little mustard-colored region, you will see the individual centers for our Ireland, Paris centers. So we have partners like SETO, which is Southeastern Technological University, Limerick, Cork, Galway Independent College, UCC, the list goes on and on. And of course, in Paris, this doesn't even do justice to our partners in Paris because we're always constantly expanding. But please take note, in terms of having all the courses available, we have all the course options available in the UK and also in Ireland. For Paris, the availability is a little bit restricted. We only have courses in the fields of business, courses in fashion, fashion design, fashion marketing. Okay, we have courses in culinary skills also in Paris. Those want to be chefs, master chefs, yes, come study with us in France. We have courses on hospitality management, data, IT. All these are available at On Campus Paris. In the Netherlands, On Campus Amsterdam, we only have one pathway, which are just business related courses only. So courses in business, courses in marketing, in economics, yes. But we don't have any other pathway at On Campus Amsterdam. And we have partners in Amsterdam, including Wittenberg, including University of Amsterdam. And we use the one-to-many model in Amsterdam, which means apart from those two partners I've mentioned, you can take our certificates and progress to any other school in the Netherlands because our programs are credit bearing. So you're good to go. Okay, I know it's a lot to take in. Trying to hear everything about on campus within how many minutes. So I'm just trying to be as brief as possible. And this is where I take a breather and say thank you. That was a presentation. Now let's go to the fun bits, question and answers.
All right. Thank you very much for this wonderful presentation, Kathy.
Thank you so
All
much.
right. So I believe for students joining today, they now have a full understanding of what on campus is and the university available on campus. So I would also like to encourage everyone joining, if you have any questions about the university on campus in the UK, Paris, Ireland, feel free to drop your questions in the chat box. Before we actually look at the questions that the student will be asking, I also have a few questions to ask you. Then we'll move on
Yes,
straight
please.
to, okay. So for the questions I have here, for September intake, what are okay, you've talked about the courses and the program available, but can you tell us if application process is still open and when is the deadline so that students that are interested can actually work towards this deadline?
Okay, so for September intake, applications or for your still taking application, like I mentioned. For the UK, our application deadlines are actually going to be in August because we're expecting some delays. We're envisaging some delays with visa processing, so we want them to go in as early as possible. But depending on the course you're applying for, because we have the integrated CAS courses in the UK, where CAS is issued by the university, and we have the on-campus CEG CAS programs where we issue the CASs ourselves, so we can be a little bit more flexible with the CEG CAS courses. So for the CEG CAS courses, our application deadline is 30th of August. That's end of August for the CG CAS courses. All right. Then for the integrated CAS courses, application deadline is 15th, basically in 1 month's time, 15th of August. Okay. So if you want integrated CAS courses in the field of business, engineering, for instance, computer science, these are usually integrated CAS courses. International Year 1 law, IY1 courses generally
Okay.
are integrated CAS. So you need to apply before the 15th of August. Before every other course, 30th of next month is the deadline.
All right, thank you very much. So for my next question, I would also want you to tell us, for students that will be applying to any university on their own campus, will they be exposed to real-world employers during their studies?
Thank you. So during the on-campus programs, when you are at the center, you're exposed to first universities in terms of you have open days. You have universities coming to you to pitch themselves, probably like in different fields of study. And you also have school tours. We take our students out to universities. Now, in terms of employers, now, when you're on the pathway program, yes, you get your partial 20 hours per week work permits on your student visas, which allows you to work. We have what we call career offices and career boards because we are in the universities. So our students have access to everything the university students have access to and more because you also have access to on-campus facilities, right? So you have access to the university career boards. You have access to the university career fairs. And for those who are not familiar, career boards and career fairs are where employers come in. Oh, we need students. We have some roles where we can take students. So yes, you can actually apply for such as long as it's not going outside the 20 hours limit you have to work, right? Then you have what we call the job halls or job boards or career shops. So you usually have like an office In Nigeria, we say you have student union offices, but then you have some offices dedicated just to, when you're not having a career fair, you have this good relationship with the industry, and then they send you emails or notices saying, okay, we have these openings in these facilities or in these areas, and then they always post it on the career boards. You have somebody, sometimes they're like student volunteers who are there to guide you. Okay, there's this opening. How do I apply? They guide you on how, okay, you can write your CV in maybe the UK format or the French format, right? Depending on the country you've chosen. So these are more supports we have. We also have, of course, our student advisors at the centers that would guide you in terms of, okay, these are the popular jobs that students usually get in this time of the year. We get it. So these are lots of what we actually provide to our students.
All right, thank you. And though you've also answered the next question I have, and aside the fact that okay, student will get probably career support when it comes to networking, job placement, what other support do you think they can also get? Probably support when it comes to their interviews. Now that even UKVI is even calling students randomly for interview, do you think they would also get support from on-campus team to prep them for their interview and all that?
At on campus, like I said earlier, we're like a full package deal. So, which is why we don't just work with any recruitment partner. We actually see and review before we actually sign up recruitment partners, like Study Now, because we have seen their precedents in terms of how they support students, and also it's in sync with the way we support students. So it's like a perfect pairing. So it's on campus right from the beginning. We are working closely with the agents, which is in this case with Study Now, who is also working with the students. So we
Okay.
are guiding you through all the steps, whether you're choosing UK or you're choosing Ireland, because different countries have different visa processes. Okay, so we are going to guide you in terms of, okay, these are the things you need for this stage. These are the things you need for the next stage, and we'll assist you on how to get it. If you think, oh, my contact person is Emmanuel, and Emmanuel is not being responsive to me, you will have my contact details as Kafi and say, Kafi, I've been calling Emmanuel for the past 2 days, not responding. I will be there to help you out. All right. When it comes to places like France, for instance, because if you're applying to France, you have a physical interview with Campus France. We have a dedicated liaison officer on the ground who, when it gets to that point, would actually do series of mock interviews with every single student before giving them the thumbs up to go and submit their visa application. For all other centers, we have a fantastic compliance team that I always do battle with. Who would ensure they check all your documents and double check and triple check to be sure everything is above board before they issue you a visa application document that could be the CAS or COE or LOA, as the case may be. All right. So there's always that support that we do. And when it's time for maybe your visa application, you have your agency or your rent partner Study Now, and you have the on-campus team, myself, and between the three of us, we'll get it sorted. Okay, so don't worry, it's a full package deal,
So are you telling us that our students should be rest assured that they will get every support they need if they're coming?
100%.
All right,
But one
that's
thing,
wonderful.
one thing I would also ask in return is your students have to be 100% honest,
Okay,
because to whom much is given, much is expected.
expected.
You have to
Yes.
be 100% honest. You have to declare everything. No baggage, no skeletons. You have to come clean. Tell us everything. If you've gotten rejection, refusal, deportation, you have to let us know. So
All
we'll know
right.
how to handle the case and we'll know, okay, don't go to this country. This might be a better fit for you. All
All right.
right? Because
That's
we can only deal with you based on the information you have provided.
exactly. All right, thank you. So for my next question, what are the most common reasons you feel strong applications still get rejected, and how can our students avoid them?
Two major reasons. The first would be, and it's mainly for the first one would be addressed to the postgraduate students. It's study gap
Okay.
and intention. Study gap, which is usually tied to intention, whether directly or otherwise. Now, we have noticed it's like a trend, is a pattern. And we've always had this study gap in place for years, even before the recent upheavals with some countries' policies. And that is because we've noticed that when you've been out of active learning or academic, environment for a while, we have to be sure what exactly are you going to that country for. So here is the way the visa officer is saying it or the interviewer is saying it. You've been out of studies for let's say 7 years or more. You have HND or a bachelor's, and now you want to go back to school. And you're self-sponsored, you're paying your school fees yourself. With all of that investment you're willing to go through and all of the stress you want to go through now that you want to go back to study, because it's not easy being out of school for like 5 years. Now you want to go back into full-time study, not part-time. So you need to have done intensive research about the country, about the course, about the location, about what is your end goal when you're done with that program. Because the way you'll be viewed is different from the way an undergraduate student will be viewed. You are a 40 something, 30 something year old candidate. The last time you were in active study was 8 years ago. Now you want to go to the UK to study a master's program or a pre-master's program, and you are the one paying your fees. They think you should be able to answer some questions. They're asking you about your institution, for instance. Why did you choose the school? Students make the first mistake. They always use generic answers. You basically go online and just cram everything on the university's website. No, you have to personalize your responses. Do you understand? You, Kathy, at this time in my life, why am I going to this particular school to study this particular course? It's not about, oh, the school is 35th in the UK. They have fantastic student satisfaction rate. They have this. These are just routine information you are taken from the website or from online or from ChatGPT. But how does that apply to you as a person? These of all the over 70 schools in the UK, this is the particular one you chose. And then the second one is the course. You say you want to go for business management. You don't even have a grasp of the course content and how that will relate to where exactly you want to end up. So you need to understand your courses, your course content. Then, of course, you have the question about accommodation. I've paid part of my school fees, maybe deposit of 4K. What about accommodation? Where will you stay? Remember, you're the one sponsoring yourself. So you should have a good idea. Oh, okay, I'm going to school. Maybe it's in the UK. Where in the UK? Is Aston. Where is Aston? In Birmingham. Okay, it's in Birmingham. Where would you live? And then you're talking about, oh, I have a friend in Newcastle. Excuse me, have you used Google Map? It's like saying, I have a friend in Edo States and your school is in Lagos. How does it relate? So these are the little errors being made. So number one is personalizing your responses to yourself. Don't use the responses your friend has used and he got his own visa. That's his own scenario. His own case is different from yours. Personalize the responses. Second is even when you have all the answers, you have to be confident. Because it's not just about ticking the check boxes, but also about psychology. Because the first thing is usually when you have study gap, they're trying to see is, are you really a genuine student? So once you answered all the questions right, your composure. I know sometimes it could be very, very unsettling. We don't like exams, we don't like interviews. We get uncomfortable because we're thinking, really, it is like a major life-changing decision if I don't do it right. I know it could be a lot, but you have to just be calm. You have to be calm. And for the undergraduate students, we know the typical African parents will not give a lot of information to their kids about what they earn and how they earn. Right now, UKVI especially, they want to know.
They want to know, yes.
If you're applying to a place like Ireland, there's no hiding from your children. They have to know. You are going to put it and put documents to back it. So you can't say, oh, my friend is an accountant and he works where? You go blank. How much does he earn monthly? You go blank. You need to know. What course do you want to go for? And I know a lot of parents, because we think once of our students or our kids, we do a whole lot of hand holding. We fill the forms for them. We do everything. The kids have no idea of anything. That has to stop.
Yeah.
Because now they're asking students questions about their applications. So imagine a child who has paid tuition fees, who has good accommodation. Everything is done. You just go in, do your interview and come out. And they're not asking you, accommodation, where are you staying? Have you paid? Where is it? And you're like, I don't know, my agent did it for me, my parents did it. Really, their parents are not the ones that are going to go and live there. To them, they're not serious students. Why should we give you a visa? Or how much? Who is your sponsor? Is my father. Where does he work? I just know he's an accountant. You have no idea where he works. Or you have an idea where he works, but you have no idea what he earns. The question is, you don't know how much your father earns. How are we sure that that money in the account that you've presented is actually genuine?
January, yeah.
And of course, related to the PG students, you also need to know about your course. You need to know about the options out there. You can't just say, oh, I chose Sunderland. Why? Because my agent or my daddy said so. It could be, oh, maybe your daddy you guys have a home in Sunderland, you have a relative in Sunderland, or you've gone to different fairs, but you have to show you've done your research. And this is why you chose the school of all the schools in that particular country. So confidence, personalized responses, detailed responses, and composure
All
are
right.
the ways to go.
All right. Thank you very much, Kafi. So I have two more questions for me here. And earlier we talked about application deadline so I think that should be for UK. Is it applicable to Ireland and
No, no.
Paris
So
for
I think
students
for
that are,
Ireland and Amsterdam, we've already closed applications for
oh,
September, but
okay,
we're still open for January 2027 for
okay,
Amsterdam and Ireland. So
okay,
the application deadlines I just indicated earlier are for the UK and Paris.
okay. So
For the UK, Brussels
finally,
and Paris. Yeah.
okay, finally for me. So if a student in this room want to start the application process today, what are the very next three steps they should take?
The first is you need to send these documents across to study now. International passports, of course, your academic documents, which is that your statement of results and your transcript. Statement of results plus transcript or the certificate, right? That's the second thing. And then, of course, the third would be your personal statement. We didn't used to ask for it in the past, but now we're asking for it because embassies are now asking for it as well. Personal statement. And then the fourth one would be an updated CV. Now, this updated CV is going to be showing your academic and work experience to date, whether UG or PG. Those are the four things required to start your application: international passport, your academic documents, your personal statement, and your resume. Please ensure that your resume also has your contact details:
Contact.
phone number, email address, house address. Because this document and these details have to be consistent on all your applications moving forward. That's why that CV is important.
All right. Thank you very much, Kafi. So I have a few questions in the chat box here. And the first one says, for someone who is a graduate in English education and wants a second degree, does that person need to start from the foundation program?
So, in such a case, depending on the country and the course you're looking at, we can actually use that as an edge for you, and you can start from international year one. So, basically, that would be used as like A levels, advanced level for you, and then you can start from for international year one. But remember, I said it depends on the course you want to study. So, for instance, if you're a graduate in English language and you come to me and say you want to study foundation and medicine, there's no other entry level for medicine. It's foundation. So you're simply going to start from foundation if you want to study medicine. If you come to me and say I want to study pharmacy, because your previous study history is not in the life sciences, so we can use that as A levels for pharmacy or anything in life sciences. You have to start from foundation here. But if you're thinking of okay, I want to study something in like business or the humanities, okay, we can use that for international year one entry, or even for some universities can do direct entry into first year. Okay, so it is determined by the course you want to study as a second degree. That will determine if you are coming in for first year, which is international year one, or you are starting from year zero, which is foundation.
Okay, so does that mean on campus actually have, would like to say, a flexible requirement for mature students for international year one?
So it's very dicey because remember I told that we have study gap. So study gap 7 years for pre-masters, but for UG is 5 years.
Okay.
It's 5 years. So and we'll start counting that study gap from your high school graduation. So if by some miracle, even with your bachelor's degree, and since you've done O levels, it's still within 5 years, yes, they can make exceptions for you.
Oh, okay.
But you have to write there will be things like interviews because you have to present a very strong case. Why exactly are you going back? and starting from an undergraduate level again, when you
Oh, I
can do so
see.
many conversion courses and go for direct masters.
Okay, thank you
Yep.
very much. Yeah. So the next question says, do you have a PhD? Which is no.
No, we don't offer PhDs, unfortunately, no.
All right. So for the next question on the list here, it says, do you have a course in BSc nursing in Netherlands?
So I said earlier that Netherlands, our portfolio there is very restricted. We only have business-related courses in the Netherlands, but we have foundation leading to nursing in Ireland and several centers in Ireland and several universities in Ireland and the UK, more than seven. So if you're looking at doing foundation to progress to BSc nursing, you can look at for the UK options. We have centers like University and UK North to progress to University of Lancashire. We have on-campus Sunderland to progress to University of Sunderland. We have at on-campus Hall to progress to University of Hull. We have at Aston. We have Southampton. If you're looking at the likes of the UK, for Ireland, we usually have foundation leading to medicine available only in September for Ireland. But you have partner schools like UCC, University College Cork. You have the likes of MTU, Monster Technological University, and some others that actually have BSc nursing. So yes, it would be Ireland or UK options for you.
Okay. So for the final question here says, do you have any BSc course in computer science in Europe? Norway to be precise.
So to the person who asked that question, no, I don't have Norway. I only have those four locations for now: UK, Amsterdam, Ireland, and France.
All right.
But why would you go to Norway when you can go to Ireland?
Exactly.
Ireland is where you have all the GIG, all the IT head offices, all the Meta head office, the Apple head office, the Dell, HP, they're all headquarters in Ireland, just next door to the UK. So if you want a course like computer science, it doesn't get better than that. Imagine you going to Ireland, doing your BSc there, and then interning at Meta or interning at Google or being an intern at Apple. Imagine the kind of CV you're coming out with. And in Ireland, for both of the bachelor's program, is integrated. So which means you have compulsory at least 9 months industrial placement, paid industrial placement. So you're coming out smoking hot on the job market. So I think you should think about Ireland and not Norway for your computer science course.
All right. Thank you very much, Kafi. And that is all the question we have in the chat box. So finally, before we call it a day, do you have any last word or final word to students that are interested?
Yes, some words actually. We currently still have some scholarships and discounts available for September for our on-campus Paris. So for on-campus Paris, we are doing up to 5,000 euro discount for students who make payments between now and the 27th of this month. So you only have like 10 days to go before that deadline or get that maximum 5,000 euro discount for any program, whether foundation, IY1 or pre-master, that's on campus Paris. And for the UK, we still have several scholarships available. Two are actually my favorite. I call them value for money for those who are looking at budget friendly schools, but still very good in terms of quality education. Consider our on campus Sunderland Center, where the net tuition can be as low as £11,500. Yes, £11,500. Our minimum deposit is 5,750, and you can opt in for our bespoke payment plan where you can pay your tuition balance in four equal installments. Think about it. 11,000 plus tuition fee, deposit 5,750. The balance you can split in four places
Exactly.
and pay like every 2 months. September, December, February, and April.
That's
Like very
interesting.
convenient payment plan. So I think for those who are waiting for their results or looking at September, those are like fantastic deals to tap into. We have something similar also at our hall, on campus hall center with Progression University of Hull. Fantastic tuition, fantastic location, and Hull and Sunderland in terms of living expenses are affordable places to live. If you don't want a cheap place in the UK, don't go to these two locations. If you want to pay for expensive accommodation, come to London. But if you're looking for affordability and good education and good environment, consider Sunderland, consider Hull. If you want a little bit of the both, consider on campus Aston in Birmingham. I'm telling you, at on campus, in our portfolio, there is always something for everyone. You can go to our website, oncampus.global, to see more about what we do. But please don't apply on the website. Just go there to do a little bit of research. For you to be guided through the application process, reach out to the Study Now team.
All right. Thank you very much, Kafi. And thank you for this wonderful presentation. We're
Thank
happy
you.
to have you here today. And I believe all the students joining too, they've um, understand and they get one or two things as regards on campus and the universities available that they can apply to. So finally, to everyone joining, I would love to remind you that if you have any course in mind and you would like to study at any of the university on campus, you can send us a DM on any of our social media platform and our team will guide you through the next steps. And also, if you have any questions at all about courses, universities, tuition, scholarship, study destination, we are just a DM away. Feel free to reach out to us on any of our social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. And we are always happy to help you begin your study abroad journey with the clarity you need. So at this point, we'll call it a day, and I will say thank you very much, Kafi, and thank you very much to everyone joining. See you next time.
Thank you so much for hosting me, and I hope to receive your applications and your inquiries. See you in September at our various centers and January for those who apply later.
All right. Thank you,
Bye.
Kafi. Bye.
Mm-hmm.